आवाज आ रही है ये फोनोग्राफ से, ढूंढो खुदा को दिल से ना लाफो गज़ाफ से।
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another exciting episode of Future of Work right here on MTA Africa, where we explore the evolving landscape of work and innovation across the continent with a focus on youth empowerment, digital transformation, and sustainable development. I am your host, Abdul Qadir Ismail Oluwagbemiga, and today's episode is titled Agritech Revolution, Empowering African Youths for a Digitally Driven Agriculture. This is a timely and urgent conversation as Africa's agricultural future is being reshaped by technology, innovation, and the passion of its young people. Joining me in the studio is someone at the forefront of agricultural development and youth engagement, Alhaj Tawfiq Abdussalam, a serial entrepreneur in agriculture and food value chain, and a food process automation engineer with over 2 decades of experience creating real-time solutions to multivarious challenges in agriculture and food value chain. He's an employer of labor, passionate about technology and advancements, especially in food production and post-harvest loss. He is the CEO of Ultra Bond Group, comprising of interests within and outside the agri sector. Tawfiq sir, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah. And virtually, we are honored to be joined by Mrs. Amatul Latif Ishaq, an experienced digital agriculture advocate and strategist whose insights bridge policy, technology, and grassroots implementation. Amatul Latif Sahiba, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sir.
Thank you for joining us on this show today. Together, we'll explore how digital tools, data, and innovation are transforming agriculture from a traditional livelihood into a dynamic, tech-enabled industry. And more importantly, how African youths can own this transformation. Before we dive deep into the heart of the discussion, we've gotten the views of diverse individuals about agriculture and technology. Let us listen to what they have to say about agriculture and technology. As we listen, stay with us. It's going to be an eye-opening conversation.
Obviously, the infusion of technology and agriculture cannot be overemphasized because the role technology will play or has been playing in agriculture cannot be limited to, but you can see in the area of production, in the area of multiple cultivation, in the area of productivity generally. As you can see, where technology is applied, you will see that the level of production or level of productivity will be in multiple. For instance, when we talk of precision agriculture, we mean the use of advanced technology, like use of drone in agricultural practice, like for what? For fumigation. What technology will do, as in what fumigation, the use of drone will do in a space of 30 minutes. I'm not sure a unit of drone, thousands of people might not be able to do it in the same number of minutes. So the role of technology cannot be overemphasized or cannot be limitedly given in terms of production and productivity of agriculture and technology?
Yes, agri-tech is the use of technology to enhance production of agricultural produce. Yeah, the development of drones in irrigation farming and pest control cannot be overemphasized. Now, the major challenges people face in agriculture is pests. For example, rice farming is very large in Africa. So, but the major challenge farmers face is birds. So the use of technology can actually control the pests, that is these birds, on feeding rice from farming. So I believe agriculture can actually help in Africa in pest controls and advanced breeds, like hybrids of different plants are now being discovered in biotechnology.
The impact of agri-tech in Africa is just it refers to the improvement, the sustainability, the efficiency, and the profitability aspects of farmers. And the most important aspect is the large production of food for the community.
I'm excited about agri-tech, and I am actually enthusiastic about it. Now, there is this advancement in the use of AI to advance agriculture in Africa, and it is actually something that I wish to see it work, especially in this part of the world in Africa. So I'm excited about it, and I'm actually hopeful that this is going to be the future of farming in Africa.
I am so excited about the use of technology in agriculture. For instance, the use of mechanized or automated feeding in poultry, where I practice. For instance, where I'm supposed to use 3 or 4 men labor to feed my birds in a day, where there is technology, I can just automate my process and just stay somewhere and use my camera or wherever to monitor the process while the feeding is done with automatic feeder. So I'm so excited and looking forward to where the whole of agricultural phase will be automated or technology driven.
Thank you and welcome back. Once again, this is Future of Work. Tafik Sahim, we have listened to what our audience have to say about agriculture, technology, and its importance, the importance of integrating technology into the agricultural industry. So, as a professional, and from your own point of view, what do you think agri-tech really means? Because this is a term that might not be familiar with a number of people. So what does agri-tech mean, and why is it important in the African society today?
Yeah, thank you. Good day, viewers. Thank you for having me on this show. Agri-tech basically means applying technology to agriculture.
Okay.
To improve overall efficiency. So it's a compound name used to define so many different types of technologies, all embedded into one, that is used to improve overall efficiency in agriculture. So what I mean here is that there are so many aspects of agri-tech.
Okay.
So many aspects, very diverse.
So you mean the agricultural industry, incorporating technology into the agricultural industry still deals with diverse fields? Is it that deep?
Very, very deep.
Wow.
Very, very deep. We have aspects of agri-tech that has to do with, let me start with precision agriculture. Precision agriculture is where you apply technologies like drones, you apply GPS, you apply sensors, the use of satellites, in agriculture. So that is one aspect of agri-tech. Another aspect of agri-tech that we can point out here is also the application of biotechnology into agriculture. that is the use of genetic engineering and some other technologies, to modify food or, animal products to develop some, certain traits that might perhaps improve maybe their disease resistance or the overall yield, or time, and so, many other things that we might want to take advantage of by modifying, the genetic composition of these plants or animals.
Okay, we'll come back to understand more about the agricultural and technology industry being infused together. Okay, now let me go to Amatul Latif Sahiba. This is a field that is growing and it is very important to the African economy. So, what skills do you think young people need to thrive in this agricultural revolution? How do you think young persons can thrive? What can we do to be more valuable in this field?
All right, sir. In addition to what Dr. Sahib has explained about agritech, truly agritech is the way forward in Africa. And every part of the world are already doing this. And Africa has started also. We need to do more because there are a lot of areas that we need to really focus on. Because agritech is the major solution for the problems that are arising in the agricultural system, arising with farming practices, to improve crop yield, to manage crop production, to reduce waste, and basically, ultimately, to improve food availability. Because the population growth is increasing and the demand for food is also increasing. And the only solution is to find ways to venture into various forms of farming in order to make sure that we have options, various methods of farming. That is where agritech comes in. Therefore, there are various skills that youth can venture into in agritech. Technical skills are needed, business skills are needed, even soft skills are needed. But majorly, the technical skills are very paramount. And then we talk about one of the first two major ones is digital literacy. For every youth that is interested in agriculture, in farming, and let me say modernized farming, the latest farming, not the old method, because that is actually what is driving a lot of youths away. But if everybody knows that, okay, there's the new method of farming, the modernized farming, it's something that they think that is the way forward also, and they want to venture into, then the first thing is digital literacy. They have to familiarize themselves with digital tools to learn, softwares, to familiarize themselves with softwares, with platforms using agriculture, and different things. Another major one is data analysis. Youth have to get skills in data analysis because these are the skills that will let them to be able to collect data, analyze data, interpret it into into farming decisions, into a lot of things that will be beneficial to the agricultural system. Another one is knowledge of emerging tools, which is in fact a very paramount one also, such as emerging tools in like AI, drone piloting, Internet of Things, coding for agri apps. There are a lot out there that youth needs to learn. They don't need to be farmers. They can also impute, what shall I call it, add their own quota, their own ideas, their own intellect into driving agriculture forward by venturing into all these areas. By doing this, they are helping those that are on the field to provide food, to make sure that they have good yield, and they are successful in all the farming operations. These things are needed. Agritech is one of the major solutions. Not even one of, is the major solutions, and it comes in different forms. Even another one is regenerative agriculture. For sustainable practices. Those are latest things that are actually being looked into also in agriculture. And market analysis also, how to analyze market trends and develop effective marketing strategies. Those things are needed. Soft skills are also there, how to communicate with stakeholders, policymakers, soft industry experts. When you want to get grants, you want to get funds, you need to learn the skills of how to do these things. You don't just go out there and say, okay, I've farmed, I've done this, okay, who will buy? No, we need all these skills. You need the business skills, you need the soft skills, problem-solving skills, how to analyze problems and identify solutions. And okay, these are the problems. Who are the people that we need to go and see? Who are the bodies that will find solutions to those things? Do you get? So those are the things. And how to collaborate also, to work with teams, to build partnership, collaborate with other people in the system, to be able to achieve success in all areas. After you farm, you do everything, you learn all these skills, you put it into practice, you put funds into your business, into your agribusiness. You need to sell, and you need all the skills put together to be able to achieve and to be able to move food availability forward also.
Okay, thank you very much for that insight. I feel like truly, it is very important for youths and young persons to continue to integrate themselves into this field, because, of course, without technology, our work will become so difficult and might be so exhausting for anyone to. But then, like you said, with the incorporation of the technology, it's quite easier for us. Thank you very much once again. Okay, back to you, Taufik Sahib. So, yes, we understand that there are skills that young persons need to develop, and it is something that it is already growing. So, according to your own assessment and with your experience in the industry, how are Nigerian youths accepting this revolution? Do you think they are accepting it, or do you think we are still kind of not sure of our bearings?
Yeah, for me, I think Nigerian youths, of course, trust Nigerian youth, would always find, opportunities and grab the opportunities whenever we see one. I would say to a very large extent, Nigerian youth have been tapping into, the benefits of applying technology into agriculture, and the likes.
Now we understand that, yes, Nigerian youths are embracing it. So what about on a continental note? Do you think on a continental note, the African society, do you think we are accepting it the way we are accepting? It is one thing that some little persons have accepted it, and it's another thing that, yes, it is being accepted on a large scale, and the view of it growing geometrically. What do you think?
Yeah, I think on the continental, scale, the same thing is happening. For example, when you look at the application of apps like in Kenya, for example, Kenya is leading with regards in Africa. Kenya is leading with regards the use of mobile apps for small skill farms to have access to tractors, and the likes.
Okay.
So Kenya has been in the lead. We have other countries. Nigeria is also joining. We have Uganda, we have South Africa and Ghana. You understand? So on the continental scope, we have so many countries. The youth in so many countries are already developing tools, to ease, the application of technology into agriculture. In the past, we are just limited to the hoe and cutlass. Now everybody wants to go, on a large scale, and access to that opportunity is not there for the small farmers. But right now, with an app on your phone, you can, there is what we call a hi tractor or hello tractor, rather, where you can, send a message to some companies. Renting is like leasing a tractor, and you're paying per acre.
So
they'll come, locate your place, do the work for you, and you are fine.
Oh, interesting.
So instead of in the past when the farmer has to own a tractor.
So even without you owning a tractor, you
can do
work.
You can enjoy.
The tractor will work for you without having going
services.
to any stress.
Yes, exactly.
Whatsoever.
Just like you hiring an Uber.
Oh, interesting.
You understand? So it's as simple as that.
Interesting. So now, Amatul Latif Sahiba, it is understood, according to what Tawfiq Sahib said, it's understood that yes, youths are now beginning to accept the use of technology in the agricultural industry, and of course it's improving the overall economy of the continent. So however, for some persons who have been passive about the use of these tools, what do you think could be the challenges they are facing, or what do you think is making it not easy for youths in the agri-tech sector, and how do you think these problems or these challenges can be overcome?
All right. Yes, as much as youths are truly and highly interested in agri-tech and all these innovations and modernized farming, there are some challenges and they are very paramount because over the years, these challenges have been discussed on different platforms and different avenues. And there are a lot, some of which are first, the major ones, in fact, limited access to finance. This is a major problem that is, let me say, peculiar to probably Nigeria, to Africa, majorly. And it's affecting it a lot because a youth that is interested in agri-tech or in agribusiness or in modernized farming, but have no funds, even if they're able to get some funds, maybe personal funds or so, there won't be enough to invest in necessary technologies to be able to drive agri-tech, and then for them to be able to venture into it fully the way it's supposed to be. So this finance is a major problem. And another problem is negative perception on agribusiness, agri-tech. Over the years, some people may have had problems, probably in negative feedbacks from their investments, in agri-tech, in agribusiness. And when some youths get hearing this information, somebody of the opinion that, then why is the rave if there's so much disadvantage, if there's so much, should I call it, or a lot of problems in this thing. So some of them may be having this negative feedback and it's going to be affecting them from venturing into it. Like example, I had one time somebody was probably the person had a very wrong information about setting up a greenhouse, and just there is another form of indoor farming. People that understand it know that, and the project failed woefully, and is over the social media talking about how some things are not right. They're just paper explanations, they're just theoretical, they're not practicable. Those kind of things affect youth when it is. But I'm sure with more information, they can get over that and get access to right information about. Then sometimes the land issues, they have issues with land, getting lands. Yeah, and so government needs to help in these areas by making accessibility to agrarian lands. And we can also look into one of the other challenges, which is the skill gap. Yes, I think we've talked about that when we're talking about the need for them to get skills. They need to actually get the skills, this technical know-how in order to be able to venture into modern farming practices, into agri-tech. So this will help them a lot. Then looking at how we can overcome these challenges, the first and foremost is access to finance. When government creates opportunities for grants, for loans, subsidies on farm inputs and technological tools. These are the things that can help youth to venture into agri-tech when they have availability, and then when there are no bureaucracies to accessing these finances. It will make it easy for them to access those funds and then utilize it adequately by venturing into agri-tech. And in order to cover the skill gap, then introduction of creation of probably by government or investors, creation of innovation hubs, and what should I call it, where youths can learn, innovation hubs, platforms where they can get information and then improve themselves, cover the skill gap they are having. get the needed training for them to be able to venture into agri-tech. Then another major one, okay, well, I think we've talked about that, is a creation of youth-centered policies. Yes, from governments and finances. When governments are intentional about youth venturing into agri-tech, into agriculture, they'll be able to create youth policies that will be beneficial. And then we've talked about it, but we can't but emphasize on it. There's a need also to strengthen policy, and regulatory frameworks that supports agri-tech development and adoption, because it's very important. And this has to be intentional, because when there's no support for its adoption, from the national level, on the continental level, everything. Those are the things that the youth needs, because and also to help them promote by promoting social and cultural inclusivity in adopting agri-tech. So this is very, very important. When you see a soft landing, when they see that, okay, the avenue is there for them to venture into easily, they'll easily venture into agri-tech. And we need to do this, because by doing all this, we'll be able to help youth to participate more and contribute to sustainable agricultural development. Thank you.
It's truly, yeah, when there are challenges, there are always solutions to these challenges. And of course, one of those things that they could do also is to continue to learn. So, of course, learning is something that is continuous, and we must always continue to learn. I love that aspect, and that's very interesting. Learning. Allah also said that we'll continue to learn, and when there are challenges, challenges are meant to make us, not to break us. Thank you very much for your contribution, Tafik Sahib. So, as an employer of labor in this field, and as someone who owns a business of his own, so what advice would you give to youths or young persons, might not even be young persons, or any individual who is looking forward to, who is a farmer or wants to go into the agricultural sector on a big scale and is looking to incorporate technology, or someone who has not incorporated technology yet, or you feel like, of course, you should incorporate technology into what you do? What advice would you give to them?
Well, my advice will come in two sentences. The first one is that if you can dream it, then you can achieve it. So many things, technologies have been developed, over the years, all over the world, that came from just an idea from someone in his or her bedroom. So, once we can have that dream of whatever it is we want to do, technology, there is no barrier to us applying that technology, or whatever technology ideas come into our head, into agriculture.
Well, don't you think technology can displace some farmers from their businesses?
Yes, sure. You see, at the end of the day, it still comes something. It's still something always give place back to those that were displaced. There would always be a soft landing, on another level for them. Yeah, technology naturally displaces, in every sphere of human endeavor, technology displaces or reduces, or displaces some people from their, normal comfort zone.
From their original comfort zone.
Yes. But over time, nature abhors a vacuum. At the end of the day, over time, those displays would also fit into something in the whole, in the big picture. So there's no cost for
So what it means generally is humans are always in charge.
We are always in charge.
So when you own your skill, when you do it makes your work easier, and it makes it even faster for you and anyone, anywhere.
Sure.
So interesting.
Let me just, before you leave that,
okay.
You see, right now the human population is growing at an exponential rate. It is predicted that by 2050, the global population all over the world will be going to almost 9.8 to 10 billion humans on Earth. And that means that human So we need to be proactive. We need to find simpler ways of feeding ourselves, because when the population gets to that level, in Africa alone, it's projected by 2050, the African population will be going to about 2 point something billion. I think we are 1 point something now. So in another 25 years, we have about 1 billion, 1 point something billion in addition to the present population. That means that we need to be smart. Being smart here means that we are going to look for softer ways of doing agriculture. Youth must be encouraged to go into agriculture. Women, agriculture shouldn't be seen as something tedious. And that's why today we have someone very close to me, where my business is situated, is into soilless farming.
Soilless?
Soilless agriculture.
Wow.
It's a technology that, people from, all walks of life are coming now to learn, where you don't need to till the ground tediously before you can plant food that we'll eat. You understand? We are talking of hydroponics and aeroponics. So this is a young man doing wonders. And when you get to his farm, you'd appreciate the essence of technology in agriculture.
Thank you very much, Taufik Sahib. Agriculture is something we cannot do about. It's the way we feed ourselves. And to feed ourselves, we must be ready to do it in a way that will be easier for us, so that, like Taufik Sahib said, yes, the population is growing exponentially, and the rate at which we engage in agriculture must also increase exponentially, because without that, a time is coming when we wouldn't be able to feed ourselves. And so that we do not starve to death, we must always continue to incorporate these machines into how we deal with agriculture, so that we can always continue to grow even more. I would have loved to take this conversation even further, because I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm sure you are also enjoying this conversation. However, we'll have more time to talk more about the incorporation of technology into the agriculture industry. Taufik Sahib, jazakumullah khairan for your invaluable insight, for your wealth of knowledge that you have shared, and for your time.
Thank you for having me.
May Allah bless you immensely. Latif Sahiba, jazakumullah khairan for your time, your efforts, and everything you have sacrificed to make this program a reality. May Allah bless you and your family immensely.
Thanks for having me on the program.
To our viewers, say Jazakumullahu khairan for being with us throughout this program. I'm sure you have learned something very important, because I have learned, and I'm sure you have learned too. If you have any questions, comments, or observations, do not hesitate to reach out to us via africa@mta.tv. I remain your host, Abdul Qadir Ismail Oluwagbemiga, and we'll meet again on Future of Work. I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
जब तक अमल नहीं है दिले पाको साफ से, जब तक अमल नहीं है दिले पाको साफ से, कमतर नहीं ये मशगला बुत के तवाफ से, कमतर नहीं ये मशगला बुत के तवाफ से।